Test anxiety. It is a real thing. It is frustrating, it is hard, especially when you're a dyslexic. So today I have 5 tips for you to make it easier when it comes to test anxiety. My name is Kathleen and I'm a dyslexic here to help other dyslexics. I help busy, overwhelmed parents understand their child's frustration with dyslexia so they can support, encourage, and empower them. Let's get into the video. Test anxiety for a dyslexic is a real thing. I know for me, it is so overwhelming and it is so frustrating, especially because these standardized tests do not show my true ability and what I can do. Having to sit there and give the information and pick between A, B, C, or D when all of them sound correct is so frustrating. And today I'm going to be sharing a couple tips to help with that because it does create test anxiety. So here are my 5 best tips to help you overcome your test anxiety. Standardized testing is frustrating. Taking regular tests is frustrating and it creates anxiety. I know for me, it created so much anxiety. And one of the big things that really helped me was to understand that these tests really, truthfully, do not show my true ability and skills. They don't. I can present the information in a much better way, some other way, but unfortunately, this is what people think is the way to represent knowledge when it really isn't. So understanding that this really doesn't show our true knowledge is the first one to help with the anxiety. Tip number 2 is to set up a study schedule. That's right. Do not wait till the last minute to cram everything. There's a big possibility that you're not going to remember the information, you're going to freak out and forget everything, and you're definitely not going to show your true abilities. For me, I always had to study way in advance, and I had a very strict study schedule that I followed. And so it would be that I would read the chapter before I went to class and listen to the lecture about it. Then I would take the notes. I would go home, I would type the notes so I could understand my actual notes. I would take the note taker's notes and I would take mine and combine them, and I would come up with my own notes. I would also make note cards, vocabulary cards to go through and know the vocabulary, and I would review those on a daily basis. Then I would review my notes, and before the test, I would also read the chapter again. I learned that when I read the information, the textbook twice, that really helped me understand the information. So I would read it twice. And if you're trying to figure it out, no, I did not read it to myself. I always had cassettes or audio tapes, and I would listen to those that was provided. Since technology has improved, I use my computer and it is way more multisensory because it highlights the word as it reads it, and it really helps me stay focused and learn the information even more. So using assistive technology also helps as a bonus tip. Another great tip during the test is to take breaks. I know that sometimes it's timed and everything, but just to take a few seconds and either get up and walk around if you're allowed to, or just kind of rest your eyes and look at something else is a huge win, because you just kind of give yourself a mental break, do a couple deep breaths, and really helps because you can refocus and go back to the test and be prepared. Tip number 4 is to get a good night's sleep before the test. That's right, not staying up cramming all night, but to actually take the time and get a good night's sleep. You're more prepared, it's easier to think, and you can use logic and more information than being exhausted when your brain all it wants to do is rest during that test. So make sure you're getting a good night's sleep before. Tip number 5 has nothing to do with the test. It's actually plan something fun to do after the test. I would always allow myself to take a extended break, go do something fun with a friend, go watch a video or something that I had been putting off because I needed to study, things like that. I would reward myself for taking the time to follow my study schedule and then doing a good job on the test. You always have to reward yourself. Even if I would get it back with a bad grade, I still knew that I put my all because I studied, I prepared, I got a good night's sleep, and I took my time on the test, and it ended up working out. So when I put these things into place, it really helped lower my test anxiety. And I hope you try these. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you are looking for more ways to easily support your child and understand dyslexia, then I'd really highly recommend that you check out Dyslexia Challenges Made Easy. I have taken every challenge a dyslexic faces that I know of and put it in this guide for you. And I literally break it down and give you at least 2 strategies to make that challenge easier. I include reading tips, writing tips, spelling tips, and math tips, along with executive functions. I also include accommodations, how a dyslexic brain functions. It is an all you need guide and it's only $27. I'm going to link it in the description below. Go ahead and check that out, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.